Hi everyone. So today in math, we're actually going to be reviewing a third grade math concept. The reason why is because we just want to make sure that you guys have that strategy down of how to add numbers with regrouping. So you might remember from last year, regrouping means when the number that you're adding goes over a single digit. So once it gets into the tens, we have to regroup and it goes over, it kind of like spills over, right, into the next place value. So our essential question today is how can we use place value to add 3-digit numbers? So 3-digit numbers means that the numbers we're adding go up to the hundreds place. See how there's 3 digits? We have the ones, we have the tens, and the hundreds. And notice too how when we add, we line up our numbers vertically, and they're one on top of the other, and they're lined up by place value. So the ones are being added together, the tens are being added together, and the hundreds are being added together. That's very important that you line up your place values. In this little example we're going to do together, notice how when they add, when the number goes over 10, look what they do by putting the number over to the next place value. So when we do 2 plus 9, does that go over 9? Yes, because we're adding 2 to a 9, right? 9 plus 2 equals 11. So 11 does not fit in the ones place by itself, right? We can't fit 2 digits in one place. So what we do is we put down the 1 that's in the ones place of 11, and we carry over the 10 into the tens place. So now I can add my tens nicely to the other tens. So we wrote down 1, carried the other 1 for the number 11. And then you add your tens. 1 plus 5 is 6, 6 plus 1 is 7. And then we write the 7 down. It didn't go over, so we don't have to regroup anything. And then 4 plus 1 is 5. So the answer to 452 plus 119 would be 571. So the main thing to remember is that regrouping part. All right, so let's try this, and we're going to do it step by step. So we're going to use place value to add these two addends. Addends means numbers that we're adding. So we're going to add 236 plus 585. And notice how right now that they're not lined up vertically. So if you see it lined up like this, you might want to get out some scrap paper and a pencil and line up your numbers vertically, because if you try it like this in your head, it's going to be a lot more difficult. So the first thing they want us to do is estimate. Estimate again means rounding to make sure that our answer is reasonable. So when we round to the biggest place value, in this case would be rounding to the nearest 100. 3 tells the 2 to stay the same. Everything after becomes a 0. So that rounded would be 200. This one, 8 tells the 5 to bump up to a 6. Everything after becomes a 0. So that rounds to 600. 200 plus 600, just add the hundreds. 2 plus 6 equals, hopefully you're thinking 8, right? And then 0 plus 0, 0 plus 0, it would just be 0. So 200 plus 600 equals 800. But maybe I'll get my little pen here so I can write that down for you guys. So 800. So that's the estimate, that's the rounded answer. So now when we actually add these two numbers, we're going to get an exact answer and see if this is a reasonable estimate. So the first step to adding is adding the ones. We always start in the ones. Do not start in the hundreds, because that's going to get you all mixed up. We always start adding all the way to the right in the ones place. So the first thing we're going to do is add 6 plus 5. So if you know your doubles plus 1, then this is a good way to think about it. 5 plus 5 is 10 plus 1 more, right? Would be 11. So we would write down the 1. Oh, I need my tool again. So we'd write down the 1 in the ones place, and we carry over the other 1. Now we add the tens. 8 plus 3 equals 11. 11 plus 1 equals 12. So that's actually, oops, step 2. So we're adding the tens. So that would be 2, carry the 1 again because it went over 9. And so then we add our step 3 is adding the hundreds. So 5 plus 2 equals 7. 7 plus 1 equals 8. So our answer is 821. So 236 plus 585 is 821. So I took out the word problem. So since 821 is close to the estimate of our first estimate rate was 800, the answer is reasonable. Because isn't 821 super close to 800? Yeah. If we were to round 821 to the nearest 100, it would be 800. So that is a reasonable answer. So let's check our work on the next slide. Make sure we got that. And there we have it. So we added the ones, carried the 1, added the tens, carried the 1, added the hundreds. We didn't have to regroup again because it didn't go over 9, and our estimate was reasonable. All right, so let's try a few more. I'll do the first one with you guys, and then I want you to pause the video to try the other 3. So let's do this one together. So we have, let me get my pen. 246 plus 483. So remember the first step is to add the ones. So 6 plus 3 equals, hopefully you're thinking 9. And we don't have to regroup that because it didn't go over. It didn't spill over into our tens place. So now we're going to add the tens, 4 plus 8. So I like to always start with the big number 8 and then I add on 4 more. So you could use the count-on strategy. If you start with 8, add on 4 more. 9, 10, 11, 12. And I was even using my fingers while I did that. So you can count on 4 more. 8 plus 4 we just found out is 12. So I'm going to put down the 2 in 12, carry over the 1 into the hundreds place. And now I'm going to add my hundreds. 4 plus 2 equals 6. 6 plus 1 equals 7. So our answer for that one is 729. So go ahead and pause the video. I want you guys to try these 3 on your own and notice how they're lined up by place value, notice how they're lined up vertically, so that it makes it easier for us to add. And sometimes I'll even draw lines between the place values. If that helps you, you can do that. Just so that you can really see these are the ones, these are the tens, these are the hundreds when you're adding. So go ahead and add those. All right, so hopefully you paused the video and you solved 509 plus 287. You should have solved 452 plus 356 and 225 plus 846. Let's see what you got. So let me clear this and check our answers on the next page. Oops. Oh, I guess I thought I made an answer key on the next one. I guess I didn't. So let's go through them just to make sure you guys got the right answers. All right, so 9 plus 7 you should have got was 16. Put down the 6, carry the 1. 8 plus 1 is 9. 5 plus 2 is 7. So if you got 796 for that one, you are correct. 6 plus 2 is 8. 5 plus 5 is 10. So we put down the 0, carry the 1. 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 1 is 8. So if you got 808 for that one, you are correct. 5 plus 6, so that's again doubles plus 1 is 11. 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. And then 8 plus 2 is 10. So for that one, it does go over. So, but you don't really have to carry over the 1. You can just write it down here because there's no other places that we're adding. So that one would be 1,071. So if you got those, awesome job. All right, so now let's see what you have for independent work. So you're going to go to Think Central to complete your assignment for reviewing 3-digit addition. Also complete the attached exit slip in Google Classroom. And if you want some extra practice, then you can do the assignment that I put on Freckle for 3-digit addition.